And salutations, my dearest friends. My name is Samantha, and today I'm going to be doing a reading vlog where I read a bunch of Omegaverse. Hello, how are you? Welcome or welcome back to my channel. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Video is going to be another weekly reading vlog. I've been really enjoying filming those, so that's what we're gonna do. The theme for this reading vlog is Omegaverse. I love Omegaverse. I love it with my whole heart, body, and soul. There's just something like perfectly unhinged and delicious about the subgenre, so that's what we're going to be doing. So a collab with one of my sweet friends here on BookTube. Kija from Kija Reads Romance is also going to be reading a bunch of Omegaverses, so make sure to check out her vlog down below. I'll leave her channel. She just recently started her YouTube channel and it's amazing. I love her. She has phenomenal taste in books. Both are absolutely obsessed with Omegaverses, so we thought this would be the perfect video to do together. So again, I'll leave her channel and her video down below. Right, really quick, if you do not know what Omegaverse is, you're missing out, okay? It is absolutely amazing. I do have a video on my channel. I think I called it like Omegaverse 101 or a guide to Omegaverse, where I really went in depth about the genre and the different tropes that you'll find in the subgenre. So I'll leave that video down below if you're not familiar with the trope. But basically, it's as if shifter fated romances kind of had a baby, but make it a little bit more intense. There's so many different tropes and things that you can do within the universe, and I feel like a lot of authors are really good at explaining it like in the beginning of their books. So make sure to read author's notes whenever you're picking up an Omegaverse, because usually they will explain the dynamics. Books that I do want to get to in this video because we have some new releases that I'm really excited about. First up is Nobody's Darling by Sarah Blue. This is the first book in her new series. It's called her Dead Palms MC series. It is a darker Omegaverse and it is an MC romance, so a motorcycle club. I'm so excited about this one. Sarah Blue actually has a lot of Omegaverse books and she writes Omegaverse so well, so I already know that I'm gonna love it. And then one of my other favorite authors is also releasing a new Omegaverse, and it's called Broken Ice by Marina Vivancos. This is the fourth book in her Alpha Omega hockey series. Kind of like the title suggests, it's a hockey Omegaverse romance series. You can technically read the books as standalones, but I would recommend reading all of them because they're fabulous. So excited for this new release. You guys know how much I love Marina Vivancos. Her books are some of my favorite books ever, so yeah, definitely plan on reading those two books in this video, and we'll see where it takes us. That's about it. I feel like I should do a little clip kind of explaining Omegaverse for those of you who are not familiar, because it's a very specific subgenre, but I do talk about it a lot. I don't know, I get a lot of questions on it, like people not knowing what it is, so maybe I will do a little clip explaining what an Omegaverse is.
Few moments later.
Attention, classes in session. Welcome to Omegaverse 101. Let's get started. Oh my god, cute professor, cute little sexy teacher. Cute. The origins of Omegaverse. Where did it come from? It really started with fan fiction. You can find dozens and dozens of Omegaverses through fan fiction, mainly on like websites like AO3. A lot of people think it's similar to shifter or werewolf romances, but not really. Not in every Omegaverse are they shifters or werewolves. They are werewolves, and sometimes they do shift and sometimes they don't. A lot of times they are just humans with advanced primal biological urges. In an Omegaverse, you can be one of three things. You can be an alpha, you can be a beta, or you can be an omega. Top of the food chain, we have alphas. Alphas are the top of the food chain. They are typically the most dominant, typically want to be leaders of the pack, have more protective instincts to them. Biologically, they have a lot of interesting things going on. And in an Omegaverse, there's something very important, and that is a knot. So, how do I say this? We're not going to keep it PG-13. Okay, so alphas have a knot on their dick. I don't know what to say. Okay, it is intended to lock into omegas. It's kind of like a fertile thing, you know, keep all the good juices going in there to impregnate and create packs. Okay, you got it. Alphas, dominant, top of the food chain, possessive, rawr. Next up, betas. Betas are very similar to a regular human. Their instincts aren't as intense as an alpha and omega. Their pheromones aren't as intense. Each person has like a designated scent. Scent is kind of how you know who your pack is supposed to be, who your fated mates are going to be, but everything is not as intense for betas. They tend to be more level-headed, but don't sleep on betas. let me say this, don't sleep on betas, okay? We're reading a poly romance or a why choose romance. Betas are kind of like the glue that holds everything together. They're the more reasonable, level-headed ones of the group. I love a good beta, okay? So, betas are important to pack dynamics. Just don't sleep on them. Omega. This whiteboard sucks. Omegas tend to be a little bit more submissive. They're usually the caretakers, the nurturers, the homemakers of the pack. A lot of packs tend to be centered around Omegas. They like to be spoiled. They like to be taken care of. They like to be in what we call nests, which is a very comfortable living space surrounded by luxurious plush things, blankets. They like to be comfy, cozy, cute. But they also like to get naughty and thoughty. So our Omegas go through something called a heat. Kind of depends on the dynamic that you're reading. Could be once a month, every couple months, once a year. Who knows how the author is going to do it. Typically, Omegas do have a heat, which is a time where they are ultra sensitive and crave physical intimacy with alphas. That's the knots, naughty and thoughty. They just want to get down, okay? They crave that physical intimacy. Omegas, okay? So those are the three dynamics. You have alphas, Omegas, and betas. All three are equally important. You will see all of them in an Omegaverse setting. People are born with these designations, and once they reach a certain age, they present as alpha, beta, omega. Will really dictate their place in society and also their place in a pack. Those Omegas and betas can be male or female. Alphas have the knots on, you know. Female alphas have like a lock down there that can like lock in the situation. Okay, again, fertile. And of course, you can have female and male Omegas. So I kind of call it an enhanced version of fated mates and shifter romances, because usually people create their pack based on their fated mates. You can tell who their fated mates are based on like their pheromones and their scents. Really do so much with an Omegaverse. It can be an alpha and omega, just two couples. Sarah Blue has some. You can do two alphas. Marina Vivancos has one with two alphas. And of course, my personal favorite is why choose reverse harem, poly romances, where a pack is a little bit larger. You can have more than one alphas, more than one betas. You can do a lot. And there is a ton of poly romances when it comes to Omegaverse. One of the most popular is the Sweetverse series by Catherine Moon. The first book in that series is Baby and the Late Night Howlers. All three of the authors that I mentioned, Sarah Blue, Marina Vivancos, and Catherine Moon, are probably the best at describing what Omegaverse is. They all have author's notes in the beginning of their books, kind of explaining the dynamics that I recommend you reading. But if you're kind of looking for a place to start, I would recommend any of those three authors. Class is over. If you need more information, I have a whole dedicated video on this. This is my passion. This is my purpose. In another life, I was an Omega. So if you have any questions, let me know in the comments down below. Hey, we're having a little bit of a lazy Saturday afternoon. I just finished with work. I'm feeling just a little under the weather. Me and everyone in my house, I'm not joking, everyone in my house tested positive for COVID, including me. Felt like I was more sick last week, and now I just feel super tired, and it's raining outside, so I feel like it is just perfect for a cozy, lazy Saturday afternoon. And we're going to read a little bit. I just got out of the shower and I have not styled my hair, so it looks a little crazy. I did recently get a haircut, which I believe you guys saw in my last reading vlog. I'm loving the short hair. It's so just, I feel so free. Anyways, I'm gonna read Nobody is Darling by Sarah Blue. I've read quite a few of Sarah Blue's Omegaverse books. I really like her Heat Haven series. I really like her hockey romances that are Omegaverse. It's such good Omegaverse. So she recently came out with one called Nobody's Darling. It is a darker Omegaverse, but not a dark romance. Heroine is kind of like the princess of this motorcycle club. Her stepfather is the president of the club. He does not want her to have anything to do with the club. He wants her to marry like a very rich, boring, safe pack, and she doesn't want that, okay? Heroine is adventurous and wild, and she loves like the motorcycle life. Wants to pack up with a hero who's a little bit darker, a little bit more possessive. She doesn't want like a boring, wealthy pack, which is what her family intends to pair her off with. So this book is her kind of like taking matters into her own hands, and yeah, I'm really excited. Is why I choose. So she has a couple different connections within the pack. One of them is her stepbrother, scandalous and forbidden. I don't usually like the stepbrother trope, but in this one it kind of just works. I just love Sarah Blue's writing. I'm a huge fan of her books. Like, so many of her books are my favorite. I wanted to show you guys the freaking dedication to this book and how I knew I was gonna love it. So the acknowledgement, or like the dedication portion, says, to 21-year-old me who hopped on the back of a guy's bike and had the funnest night of your life. You're so lucky you didn't die, you stupid bitch. I was dying. And from that moment, I knew that I was gonna love this one. So Keisha is also reading this book. We're kind of like buddy reading it, so I'm excited to hear her thoughts too. But yeah, we're just gonna have a little lazy Saturday afternoon reading this book and see what we think. Keisha also recommended a fan fiction for me. It's called Cherry Mint. This is a Hermione fan fiction, so Harry Potter, Draco, and Hermione, and it's Omegaverse. I read a Hermione Omegaverse. It's called All You Want, and I read that because of Keisha's recommendation. Loved it, and I've been really in a fan fiction mood, so I might pick that one up as well. And it kind of works because I have a Harry Potter shirt on right now. It says, I solemnly swear I'm up to no good. Don't come for me, okay? Don't come for me. I'm reading fan fiction Harry Potter, and I got this for $5 at Five Below, okay? Don't come for me. Anyways, I'll update you guys when I have more reading updates. I just want to say I'm loving this book so much. I'm loving it so much. These heroes are so possessive over our heroine. It's very, very sexy. That's all I wanted to say, is that I am loving it so much. I'm literally gonna stay up tonight and finish it. I texted every single person I know that reads Omegaverse, and I'm like, you need to read this. You need to read it. Air Blue is gonna hit every time when it comes to Omegaverse. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Some packages to open. I'm excited. I was not expecting either of these packages, so fun. A little surprise to actually get scissors out instead of just ripping them open, because they're taped phenomenally. Phenomenally. You guys know anything about me? Valentine's Day is my favorite holiday. Hands down my favorite holiday. Valentine's Day, I love it more than Christmas, Thanksgiving, everything combined. This package has hearts on it. My best friend Desiree from Desiree Alicia, I'll leave her channel down below. She sent me a package and has hearts on it. So it's for Valentine's Day. Go ahead and get into it. So first up, we have this makeup brush, which honestly is so pretty. It looks like a rose. Oh my god, it is so soft. I love that. Packaging, the detail, so thoughtful, so freaking thoughtful. Is this a little mat for my computer? Like a little desktop mat? So cute. It's honestly hilarious because I started working from home recently and I do not have a good setup working from home. My room is surrounded by bookshelves, okay? So I didn't have a lot of space. So I turned my makeup vanity into a working from home bookshelf, and I think I was like propping my desktop on some like old Christmas boxes. So this is hilarious. She's hooking me up. Okay, the box did say fragile, so I'm assuming it's this. Oh my god, it smells delicious. Oh my god, it smells delicious and is adorable. Is this for the bath? She knows I love baths. I literally take baths every single day. Oh, that smells so good. What is this? Cashmere musk body butter. Oh, it's a body butter. Oh, I wish you guys could smell that. That smells divine. Oh, and look how cute the little package is. Okay. I'm not gonna cry. Okay, this is candy. We have some Kit Kats and some Snickers. Cute, cute. Love it, love it. Oh, this is such a cute cup. Oh my god, it's in the shape of a heart. A little makeup headband, skincare headband. Gosh, I have a gnome. I have a glittery gnome back here. Hold on, let me grab it. They're gonna be best friends. They're gonna be best friends. Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. Is there a card in here that I'm missing? We have some lip glosses. Oh, and a candle. This is apple cinnamon. This box smells really good. There's like a lot of good smelling things. Ooh, that does smell really, really good. Like a little popcorn bucket. So many pink and red things. Ugh. Here's the card. I love being a girl. I just love my bookish friends. Like, I really do. I honestly, it's so crazy to think like I started this channel like wanting to talk about books and made some of the most important and like special friendships ever that I'll ever have. This smells delicious. What is this? Love Spell body soap. I think she says, does she say her mom makes these? She said her mom makes these. Oh my god. Ugh, I'm dying. The two strawberry packages for last. All right, let's open this one. Excuse me? She got me a controller, a gaming controller that's pink and cute and girly, like me. I have been saying that I have been wanting to start a gaming channel. Like, I really want to do more lifestyle stuff on here. Like, I don't want to just talk about books. I really enjoy cozy gaming. It's my favorite content to watch. And I've been saying that I really want to start one, but I don't really have the equipment for it. And she got me a little phone stand, which is super cute. It was so thoughtful and so incredible and so amazing. Thank you, Desiree. I love you so much. I got so excited that I forgot to unbox the other package, and it was Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. This is the special edition that Bookish Box. That Bookish Box did. It's a hardcover and has like sprayed edges. I'll show you guys a better clip of this as I'm talking. I do remember ordering this. Bookish Box always takes literally forever and a day to ship their items, so I did not know it was coming today until Lacey texted me. The cover is really, really pretty. It is, I have to admit. So this is definitely a hot topic right now. I loved Fourth Wing. Me and my dad really loved Fourth Wing. I was not a fan of Iron Flame. I wasn't really a fan of the story and wasn't a fan of all of the publication issues that Red Tower had. So that's my thoughts on that. But yeah, stunning. Literally about to wash my makeup off, and I was putting on my pajamas when I forgot to update you guys. We finished a book. We finished Nobody's Darling by Sarah Blue, and I gave it 4 stars. I absolutely loved it. This one, Sarah Blue just knows how to do Omegaverse so well. I've said that a million times in this video. The heroes are a part of a motorcycle gang. Some stuff happens. They are very possessive and gruff and just, oh, I love them. I love them so much. If you like the touch her and you'll die, like literally you'll die trope, that's this book. It is white shoes. It's not poly. None of the guys are in a relationship. I mean, it would have been fabulous if they were, but it was okay. Really, I want everyone to be in a relationship, okay? I want everyone to be in love romantically, emotionally, physically, but this dynamic just seemed to work so well, and maybe it's because we got multiple point of views. We got every character point of views. There was character art in the beginning of each chapter, which I thought was also really cool, so it kind of gave you such a good picture. I loved all of their backstories. They each had their own personality traits that made them unique, and I was kind of like rooting for all of them, so I didn't mind that the heroine was like the center of attention and the pack, because she was the Omega, and it was fine, and I loved it. And I think it's hilarious that I've literally only read MC romances when they're Omegaverse. I've never read any other motorcycle romance that's not Omegaverse. This reminded me a lot of the Sweetverse series by Catherine Moon, because that's also a motorcycle Omegaverse. A little bit different, kind of a little bit different. So the first book in that series is Baby and the Late Night Howler. I think I described the premise earlier in the book when I was talking about Omegaverses that I really like. But basically, Baby presents as an Omega, and she needs to find herself a pack, and she ends up connecting with a motorcycle club. Motorcycle club has like 12 alphas. Like 6 of them she is romantically involved with, and then the other is more like a family bond and a pack bond. It does also have darker themes in it because there's a rival gang that is kidnapping and selling Omegas to the black market, which was kind of similar to the premise of Nobody's Darling by Sarah Blue, but they were different. They were their own. I'm just saying, like, if you like one of these books, you'll probably like the other. And I wanted to talk about that because I recently got a book box from Eternal Embers. It was a collab they did with Madison Fox. She does bookish content, but she's also an author. She just did her debut novel last year. It's called Good Game. One is a hot romance with like a masked streamer, gaming streamer. So I did love that one. But anyways, she did a collab with Eternal Embers, and they did special covers, and this was the special cover for Baby and the Late Night Howlers. It's stunning, it's gorgeous, it's beautiful, so I kind of wanted to show that off for a second. Anyways, that was my little update. I'm gonna go take a bath. I love you guys. Here with another update because I finished another book. I finished Broken Ice by Marina Vivancos, and I gave it 5 stars. I didn't really update you guys too much on this book because I loved it so much. I literally read it in one sitting. Okay, I stayed up till 2:30, almost 3 o'clock in the morning finishing this book because I loved it. 5 stars, hands down. Marina Vivancos is that girl. Okay, I said it many times on my channel, but I discovered Marina Vivancos, I would say like 2022, like late 2022, and she quickly became my favorite author of all time. This one is called the Alpha Omega Hockey Series. It is all set in Omegaverse universe. They're all male-male romances, and then each book follows different professional hockey players. Books connect very loosely, so you can read all of them as standalones, especially this one, the fourth one, because it takes place like 10 years after the other books, and even the author says in her author's note that this can be read as a standalone. So really quickly, I'll talk about the other 3 books in the series, and then I'll tell you guys about the one we just read. So Fresh Ice is the first book in the series. That is a friends to lovers romance. Both of our characters are entering into their rookie year, playing on a professional hockey team. They end up becoming roommates, and it follows their romance. One hero is an Omega, the other is an Alpha. The second book in the series is Face Off, and this one is an enemies to lovers second chance romance. Our characters are captains for rival teams. One hero is an Omega, one hero is an Alpha. They actually had a relationship when they were younger, but it didn't work out because of their profession, and now it follows their second chance romance. The third book in the series is called Overtime, and this is arguably my favorite book in the series. This one actually follows 2 Alphas and is another friends to lovers romance. They played in the junior league together, but when they entered into the draft professionally, they got sent to separate teams. Finally, one of them actually gets transferred to the other's hockey team, so now they're playing together for the very first time, and it follows the romance, friends to lovers, 2 Alphas. Very hot, possessive. Ugh, I love that one. And that brings us to the one we just finished, which is Broken Ice. This one is in that same hockey universe, but 10 years after the fact. It's a little bit more normal for Omegas to play professional hockey. I mentioned before, Alphas are very dominant and possessive, so professional sports tended to be an Alpha-dominated sport. In this series, there's like a lot of stigma about Omegas playing professionally. One of our main heroes, who is an Omega, has really had to prove himself in this sport. Instead of getting traded from his old team because of a lot of biases and getting transferred to a new team, he's kind of nervous because there is an Alpha there on the team that he thinks doesn't really like him because he is an Omega. That's definitely not the case. It's a little bit of a miscommunication. 2 of them end up spending a lot of time together. Our Omega has a lot of struggles with his heat because he was put on suppressants by his old team, and because of that, he's having very chaotic heats, and he needs an Alpha to help him through it. That is where his teammate comes in, offers to help him through his heat, and it follows the romance. This one is amazing. Our hero, who is an Omega, is such a brat, okay? He is this sassy, loud-mouthed brat, and I freaking loved him. I feel like a lot of people would like this Omegaverse because it's really low stakes. There's really not that much external plot. It really just focuses on our main characters. If you like Omegaverse because of the heats and the nesting and the cuddling and the set marking and all those fun stuff that is so quintessential Omegaverse, you're gonna love this one. You are going to love this one, and I would definitely say this one is more fluffy is not the right word, but it's really not that angsty. Some of the other books in the series are, and a lot of Omegaverses tend to be very, very dark just because of the hierarchy and the dynamics of the designations. With Omegas being a little bit more submissive, there's so many books where they're taken advantage of and the society isn't as accepting, so some of them can lean very, very dark. In Omegaverse, both female and male Omegas can also get pregnant. When males get pregnant, it's called mpreg, and because of that, a lot of Omegaverses also touch on things like infertility and assault, so some can get really, really dark. This one is not. This one is fluffy and sweet, and if you're like nervous about Omegaverse, I feel like this would be a really good one to start with. So 5 stars. I absolutely loved it. That's all I have to say. I actually have a whole video on my channel because I've read all of Marina Vancosta's backlist, every book she's ever written, even the ones she like has in her newsletters. I've read all of them, and I have a whole video ranking them, talking about my favorites, talking about all the synopsises. So I'll leave that down below if you are interested in like reading more from her, which I think you should because she's amazing. So what do we think of this little corner? It's a work in progress. I'm currently redecorating my room, so this is like my cozy little cute corner that I feel like I might update you guys more in. So let me know what you think. I want to change out this dresser and put like a brown one. I painted that right there, that painting back there, I painted that. I went to like a sip and paint situation and I did that. So anyways, that was my update. I love you guys so much. I'll talk to you in a little bit. We are sitting on the floor because I was just organizing my bookshelves, but I finished another book. I look a little crazy because today it's been a day. my friends. I will tell you how crazy this month has been in just a second, but let's update you guys on the third book that I finished for this video. The book that I read is Good Boy by Jet Masterson. This is the second book in a series. It's called his Vanilla Baby series. I had to reread the first book because it had been some time since I first read it. The first book is called Pretty Boy. The second is called Good Boy. This is a male Omegaverse series. Jet Masterson's writing reminds me a lot of like Wattpad. I don't know if he was originally a Wattpad author, but that's just the vibe it gives me. I've read another Omegaverse by him. I believe it was called Cutting the Braid. That one was another male Omegaverse, but it's set in a historical setting. Jet Masterson's books are very long, like very long. The first book in that series is 527 pages, and the second book in that series is 601 pages. Yes, I read all of that. Kind of the premise of the series is basically like a sugar baby situation. So our hero Remy is a Omega, and he is putting himself through college. He's basically like a broke college student. He wants to pursue becoming a professional chef, going to culinary school. He lives in a very expensive city, and he's really struggling through his heat. So his goal is to kind of find himself an alpha that could potentially be his sugar zaddy. Originally, this wasn't his plan. He kind of stumbles upon this agency that connects Omegas and alphas together. It's paired with our hero, who is an alpha. He's a very successful CEO. There is a little bit of an age gap, and they immediately have like an intense connection. I mentioned how scent is a huge part of Omegaverse, and they are definitely like scent matches. I also realized that they share a lot of kinks. This is pretty heavy on like BDSM, the sugar baby, sugar zaddy situation, age gap, BDSM, zaddy, kink. My light just died. Great. We're back. We're not back. Why? You know what? We're just gonna leave it like this, okay? Sorry for the poor lighting. Forgive me, my friends. This book is very low angst. There's pretty much no external conflict in the two books that I've read. It really is just focusing on the characters' emotional connection and also their physical connection as well. This book is very steamy. Again, if you are someone who's reading Omegaverse for like the heats and the steam factor, then you would probably love this series. It's hard for me to explain the series because I personally would not recommend it to people because the first two books is easily 1,000 pages and there's no external conflict happening. But I kind of love it. I kind of eat this series up like candy. I give the first book 4 stars, the second book 3 stars, and I just kind of enjoy it. I like the low angst. I like the Omegaverse universe that Jet Masterson creates, and his writing, it really reminds me of Wattpad, but in the best way. When I say he reminds me of Wattpad, I don't mean that as an insult because I was a Wattpad girly through and through. In high school, I was reading all types of Wattpad, okay? Student-teacher romances, vampire romances, and I kind of miss that sometimes. I kind of crave that style of writing, but it's a very specific style of writing. It's the type of people who like fan fiction. It's the type of people who love Omegaverse. If you're someone who really annotates that books and gets very into writing styles and prose and things like that, not the book for you. Not the book for you whatsoever. This is just a fun, silly, goofy time, which is sometimes what I need. Not an Omegaverse I would recommend for someone who's never read the books because you're just going to be like a little overwhelmed with all of the scent marking and the possessiveness and the fluids, if you will. So yeah, you have to be really into Omegaverse to enjoy this series, but I really like it. So take that how you will. Clearly I loved it because I read 1,000 pages of this couple, and there's a third book in the series there's also like 500 pages, and I'm gonna read that too. So there you go. And I started reading the Germani Omegaverse. I literally just started that. I just downloaded it on AO3. A lot of people ask me how I download books, fanfiction books. It's a website called AO3. Find the fanfiction that you're looking for, and there is an option that says download, and you're gonna download the PDF version, and you can send it to either your Kindle app directly. If you're on your iPad or your phone, you can just send it directly to your Kindle app or your Books app through Apple. Sometimes it takes a couple minutes for it to pop up, but it will be there. Don't use the Mobi or the EPUB option because Kindle actually no longer supports that format, so it will not send to your Kindle app. It might send to your Books app on Apple, but it's really not the best format. The layout is kind of weird. Download the PDF and then send that to whatever app you're reading on. And if that doesn't work, you can always send it to your Kindle email address and then it will show up next time you log into your Kindle app. If you're on your phone or on your desktop, you can read directly from the AO3 website. I just personally don't like that format, and it doesn't always save like the last place that you left off on. And then if you're like, Sam, that is entirely too much trouble, I would recommend checking like Spotify. There's a company called ETL Echo and various other companies, but my favorite is ETL Echo. They will do audiobooks for a lot of fanfiction, particularly like the popular ones. I couldn't find one for this one. The more popular ones I've read, like Manacles and Remain Nameless, they were all available on Spotify as an audiobook, and they're free. The company is doing it for free because it's fan fiction. They can't make any monetary value from it. We finished 3 books, well technically 4 because I did reread one, and then we're starting the Hermione fan fiction right now. I will wrap that up for you, but let me tell you how crazy today has been, friends. Honestly, this whole month has been fucking wild. I'm just gonna keep it 100% honest. I know I've mentioned it 1,000 times and it's become like my entire personality, but I have endometriosis, okay? I had surgery last month right before Christmas, a couple days before Christmas. So the end of December, beginning of January, I was healing from my surgery, and then I was kind of acclimating into going back to work after my surgery, working from home for a little bit. I kid you not, the second I started to feel better from my surgery, my scars started to heal and my mobility was a little bit better, I got COVID. Okay, at first I thought that I had strep or bronchitis because my throat was so sore. I lost my voice immediately, super sick. And then after that, everyone in my family got sick. And when I mean everyone, I mean everyone. My older sister, my younger brother, my brother-in-law, my nephew, my mom, my dad, my grandpa, my grandma, all of us got sick. All of us had COVID. It hit us like a freight train. So as soon as someone was starting to feel better, somebody else would start to feel sick, and it just created this cycle of us all continuously literally being sick, right? So that happened, still getting over that, and then today we walk downstairs and there's a leak in our house. Our refrigerator ended up leaking and flooding our kitchen. It must have happened overnight because we did not notice it until the morning. Our kitchen is downstairs, obviously, so we were all upstairs. We kind of caught it in a good time, but there was still some damage done. Water damage to the wall behind the fridge, and it also leaked into the hardwood floors that we have in the kitchen. So the water was off this morning. Somebody came to like assess the situation, and yeah, there's a lot of water damage. And what sucks is that our home downstairs is continuous flooring. I know some people have like tile in their kitchen and carpet maybe like in their living room or whatever. No, our entire downstairs, kitchen, living room, hallways, it's all one continuous floor. The entire flooring downstairs has to be replaced because it's continuous flooring. The company that makes the hardwood floors that we have no longer makes that style. That style does not exist. So small sections cannot be replaced. Everything has to be replaced. Does that make sense? It is going to take about 2 to 3 months to fix this whole situation, which is absolutely crazy because we have so much family coming to visit us within like the next couple weeks, staying with us, visiting us. I don't know if the insurance is going to have us stay at the hotel or if we're just going to be here as construction is happening. I do work from home, so I don't know how that construction is going to affect that. I'm just ranting at this point. But this month has been crazy, wild, bonkers, so I have to end the video here. I really wanted to finish the Hermione book in this video, but yeah. Everything I mentioned and above. It's just a lot. It's just a lot. It's the beginning of the year, so a lot of companies are doing like their annual reviews. Everything with my surgery. I still have a lot of follow-up appointments. I have like a whole, yeah. So it's a lot. I'm trying to stay positive though. We read a lot of good books in this video and I'm not gonna let it get me down. A chaotic reading vlog after a chaotic reading vlog, I swear. Okay, let's wrap up this video. For real this time. We read Nobody's Darling by Sarah Blue. I gave that one 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. Super excited to read the rest of the series. That was an MC Omegaverse. Then we read Broken Ice by Marina Vivancos. That was the 4th book in her Alpha Omega Hockey series. Favorite book that I read in this video. I gave it 5 stars. Marina Vivancos is literally my favorite author. And then we caught up on some of the Vanilla Baby trilogy by Jet Masterson. So the first book in that trilogy is Pretty Boy. I gave it 4 stars. I reread that one, kind of sticking with the 4-star rating. Then the second book is Good Boy. I'm giving that 3 stars. The series is just unnecessarily long, but I enjoy it. So this one is a hard series to rate because it's unnecessarily long. There's not a lot of external conflict, but I love our characters and I love the Omegaverse world. So I'm still reading it. I still like it. Yeah. And then obviously I'm going to finish the Hermione fanfiction. I will update you guys, I don't know, maybe on my socials or in another video. Be sure to follow me on Goodreads. It's Books with Sam, I think. I think that's the only platform I'm not Books with Samantha. Anyways, I think it's Books with Sam. I'll put it on the screen. I'm really trying to be better this year at updating my ratings and leaving actual reviews. So that's kind of like the best place to see what I'm reading and what I think. So I love you guys. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you, Keisha, for doing this collab with me, even though I was a little bit of a mess. I think she also got sick during this time, so it's going around, y'all. I hope you guys are all staying happy, safe, and healthy, and I will see you in my next video.